when I was much younger that I dug it out and I wiped it out, and I'm going to paint a jam-up painting on here. And about, I don't know, halfway done with the painting I'm doing now. We're going to work on the water today, and that's what I'm going to let you in, or I'm going to let you follow me as I lay in the underside of the surface of the water in the painting. And I have some reference over here that I'm going to be using that I found that suits it to the degree that I can use it. It's not going to be exactly like this, but it's going to help me stay on track. So let's get going. I'm going to have to, it's really simple to paint because basically all you're doing is using the same colors that are in the painting and making a really abstract pattern out of it. And you can't really go wrong. You can go wrong, but you get to a point to where when you're painting that your mistakes start to become successes. So let's make some mistakes. I need some more white on here. I'm gonna use a lot of white. I'm only going to be pushing around a couple of other colors in the white. Got those on here for the most part. And should probably add a little more this to the canvas, this to the palette rather. Some Naples yellow. Use a lot of Naples yellow sometimes. I got all the blues I need. All right. I get a brush that I can start to getting along quickly here. You can see that I've already got some stuff in here that I whipped in earlier on to give me an idea of where I want things to kind of be, or my starting point. And I imagine that this is probably a number 8 flat brush. It's not really all that vital information. Okay, so I'm kind of suffering on my light here because my light's so high up. I'm going to have to stand up to do this properly as I'm tethered to this mic. I'm going to try to stay in frame so everybody can see where I'm working in here. And we're only going to do about a 45-minute to hour-long demo for this particular session. And then we'll come back later next week probably with a follow-up of the same painting. This is going to be a great paint. I can't wait to get further along with it. But it's very difficult for me to paint on camera. It's a little confining. All right. Anyway, you can see where I'm kind of and there's hardly a rhyme or reason to this. It's impossible for me to tell you how to do this. I can only show you to the degree that I can. Even then, it's all kind of just instinct in a way. Very difficult to convey. You want to you want to be extremely subtle with your result, though. That's for sure. You don't want to you overdo it, or this is really not somewhere where you definitely have to have a subtle approach, but bold at the same time. Otherwise, it just doesn't come off. You don't want it to look stiff. You want it to look carefree as possible, and you have to have a certain application stroke to do that. And if you don't, you won't succeed in bringing it to life. And I'm feeling it out right now myself. I'm just trying to figure out what colors I'm going to go with and what's going to work. Because not even I know exactly how this is going to, where everything's going to go. Having a problem with this one? Or are we good?
Yeah, I'm not sure what is up with that one.
Tell you what, we're still working out kinks, and it seems like we can't work them all out fast enough. They're plaguing us. There's always a problem with a camera, so on and so forth. This is why when I used to film hunts, I quit because it made the hunts not so fun. We're gonna keep trying until we get it. At least my help in the real world is. You're my help in the real world. Because you know how I need help in the real world. Alright, so I have to constantly remind myself too of what I'm doing here and where to put what color, because it's so abstract that I kind of lose it myself trying to maintain what in the heck I'm doing. I start to lose, it's easy to lose where you are and what part of the little ripple or swell you're painting. It takes me a while to get to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm finally getting there. You just keep on going until you get there. It takes a while sometimes. But I eventually figured out. So I'm still doing this. I haven't given up. I know I'm probably not in.
The phone was just better for the cat because it's not like smooth like the other ones. These look like audio software.
I'm already, I don't know if this is picking up on the camera I have here or not, but this is already starting to come to life to the degree that it's making me happy in here. The water is going to be closer. The higher up I get, this water's closer to me than this water back here. And then this is the background that I have to work more, obviously. And obviously I have a fish here that I've only laid in so many scales on. But this water just needs to remain I want it somewhat like it's moving because the tide is coming through. I'm depicting the tide rolling in, and this redfish is moving against the tide, into the tide, and he's coming around corners on a shell bank, or at the edge of a shell bank, wherever, and he's encountering different things. So I have a blue crab down here. I'm going to have another one over here under this rock, and I'm going to have some grass shrimp in here, and it's going to be really interesting painting. But that's the idea, is that I want this water moving, so I don't want it to be flat on top and just be still. I want it to have some motion to it, and that's what I'm getting here when I add all these neat curves, curvy lines. Wherever the wave or the ripple is facing you the most, where it turns is going to be a lighter color, because that's the part that's most at a 90 degree with the world above it. It's going to be it's going to be as flat as it can get, that you can see while you're underneath. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but that's why you have these little light spots. The bottom of the wave curves around and goes away, and therefore it becomes darker. So this will be the bottom of one little soil here. And this is basically a continual process of working and working this area until you get it right. And until it makes sense. And it's hard for me to tell you that, but it just eventually happens. I don't know if this camera right here is operating right, but basically it's coming along here. I'm kind of stuck in one spot right in here for the camera. So as soon as I get a little bit more moving along here, we'll see what it looks like in about 15 or 20 minutes, and I think that'll be good enough to give you an idea how I approach this type of a thing. I just start going crazy with it, and eventually I have water. A fish underwater. Getting a little tied down. Sometimes I'll work a spot for a long time until I get it, but I'll eventually get it. Yeah, I keep not getting enough color on here. And the further back I go, the more blue and less bright the sun is coming through here. This is where your different kinds of blues come in handy and make magic. Let me see where I'm going here with this. See how it looks like you're looking up. The camera finally back on here, and it's come along quite a ways. Tons of blending. You just work yourself right up into the next one. This is going to be the bottom of that one. And then it's going to roll into another one. You just have to move your hand around like it's liquidy movements. Alright, I think everybody gets the gist. When we come back, we're going to move along a little further on the same painting if I haven't finished it by then. But we'll let you know when we figure it out, what we're going to be doing next week exactly. I might be tying this one up. We'll see where we're going to start or end up. I think I might have heard the lunch bell. Did the lunch bell ring? Boy, this is fun when you get into it. Alright, well anyway, got my camera back and you can kind of see where it's going. I'm getting ready to tie this up. About ready? I'm trying to bail on everybody here in my camera crew left. Hello? Anybody out there? Alright, we're tying it up. Alright, everybody, that's all I'm going to do today, and we'll get back with you and we'll move along a little bit further on this. And I'll show you another phase to the water, maybe, or something else along the lines of this particular piece. Everybody take it easy, stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.